happy for it, though alone I do feel the injury.
I am amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander in scorn, to follow me and praise my eyes and face, and your other love, Demetrius, who even but now...
Good evening, and welcome to the Center Stage Acting Department Scene Showcase. It's kind of family tonight, so I guess I probably don't really even have to tell you who I am or anything like that. And I probably don't have to tell you the rules either, cell phone, flash pictures, and all that, because you know all that, right? If you're going out, go out in and out between scenes, that's all. So this evening we will be presenting a variety of scenes directed by myself and my friend, former star student and colleague, Rebecca Servan. And I embarrass her every time I say that. As you know, we do lots of different kinds of performances at Center Stage, but I have to confess that there is a special place in my heart for the acting showcase. Whenever I have a new group of students that have never taken class with me, I always ask them a series of questions about their interest in acting. And one of them is, have you ever seen a play? And lots of hands go up, and I continue, that isn't a musical. And most of the hands come down, and I get these sort of like quizzical looks. And then somebody will say something like, I saw Wicked, does that count? And I say, did they sing? Yes. Then it's a musical. I love plays. I love going to see them. I love acting in them. I love directing them. And most of all, I love introducing them to students and audiences that don't know very much about them. So today we're going to see a bunch of plays, either a whole short one-act or part of a full-length play. We start the evening with a couple of scenes from Rebecca's advanced acting class, so let me bring her up to introduce them. Rebecca Servan.
So my advanced class this year really wanted to work on comedy. So I gave them stylized pieces, which I'm sure was not what they meant, but they've done really well with it. So it's stylized comedy, and the first one is a piece by David Ives. It's called Sure Thing. It's from a collection he has called All in the Timing. And it's about a first date. And as you'll see, it really is all in the timing.
Excuse me, is this chair taken?
Excuse me?
Is this taken?
Yes, it is.
Oh, sorry.
Sure thing.
Excuse me, is this chair taken?
Excuse me?
Is this taken?
No, but I'm expecting somebody in a minute.
Oh, thanks anyway.
Sure thing.
Excuse me, is this chair taken?
No, but I'm expecting somebody very shortly.
Would you mind if I sat here till he, she, or it comes?
Well, they do seem to be running pretty late, so.
You never know if you might be turning down.
Sorry. Nice try, though.
Sure thing. Is this seat taken?
No, it's not.
Would you mind if I sit here?
Yes, I would.
Oh. Is this seat taken?
No, it's not.
Would you mind if I sit here?
No, go ahead.
Thanks. Every place else seems to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
Great place.
Mm-hmm.
What's the book?
I just wanted to read it quiet, if you don't mind.
No, sure thing. Every place else seems to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
Great place for reading.
Yeah, I like it.
What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Hemingway. What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner?
Have you read it?
Not actually. I've sure read about it though. It's supposed to be great.
It is great.
Yeah, I hear it's great. Waiter! What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner?
Have you read it?
I'm a Mets fan myself. What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner?
Have you read it?
I read it in college.
Where was college?
Middlesex County College. What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner?
Have you read it?
I read it in college.
Where was college?
I was lying. I never really went to college. I just really like to party.
Where was college?
Harvard.
Do you like Faulkner?
I love Faulkner. I spent a whole winter reading him once.
I've only just started.
I got so excited after 10 pages that I went out and bought everything else he wrote. One of the greatest reading experiences of my life. I mean, all that incredible psychological understanding, page after page of gorgeous prose, the way he's grasped the mystery of time and human existence, the smells of the earth. What do you think?
I think it's pretty boring.
What's the book?
The Sun and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner?
Have you read it?
I love Faulkner.
I got so excited after reading 10 pages that I went out and bought everything else that he wrote.
All that incredible psychological understanding.
And the prose is so gorgeous.
And the way he's grasped the mystery of time.
And human existence? I can't believe I've waited this long to read him.
You might not have liked him before.
That's true.
You might not have been ready for it. You have to hit these things at the right moment or it's no good.
Yeah, that's happened to me.
It's all in the timing. My name's Bill, by the way.
Hi, I'm Betty.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, I thought reading Faulkner was a great experience.
Yeah.
The sound and the fury.
Well, onwards and upwards.
Waiter! You have to hit these things at the right moment or it's no good.
Yeah, that's true.
My name's Bill, by the way.
I'm Betty.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you come in here a lot?
Actually, I'm just in town for 2 days from Pakistan.
Oh, Pakistan. My name's Bill, by the way.
I'm Betty.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you come in here a lot?
Every so often. Do you?
Not as much as I used to. Not so much anymore. Before my nervous breakdown. Do you come in here a lot?
Why are you asking?
I'm just interested.
Are you really interested, or are you just trying to pick me up?
Well, I'm really interested.
Maybe you're only interested in the sake of making small talk long enough to ask me back to your place to listen to some music, or because you got this great tape for your VCR, or because you got this unknown Django Reinhardt record. Only all you really want to do is, which you won't do very well. After which you'll go to the bathroom and pee very loudly, and then go to the kitchen and get yourself a beer without asking if I'd like anything. And then you'll proceed to lie back down beside me and confess you've got a girlfriend named Stephanie who's away at Belgium in medical school for a year. And you've been involved with her off and on in what you'll call a very intricate relationship for the past 7 years. None of which interests me, mister.
Okay. Do you come in here a lot?
Every other day, I think.
I come in here a lot too, and I don't remember seeing you.
We must be on different schedules.
Misconnections.
Yeah, different time zones.
It's funny how you could live right next door to somebody in this town and never know it.
I know.
City life.
It's so crazy.
We probably pass each other on the street right in front of this place every day.
Yeah.
Well, since the waiters here seem to be in some different time zone. Waiter! So, what do you...
Oh, I beg pardon?
Nothing, sorry.
Do you come here a lot?
Every once in a while.
Well. Waiter. I guess we must be on different schedules.
Misconnections.
Yes, different time zones.
It's funny how you could live right next door to somebody in this town and never know it.
It's crazy.
City life.
I know.
Well, you weren't waiting for anybody when I came in, were you?
Actually, I was.
Oh, boyfriend?
Sort of.
What's a sort of boyfriend?
My husband.
Aha. You weren't waiting for anybody when I came in here, were you?
Actually, I was.
Boyfriend?
Sort of.
What's a sort of boyfriend?
We were meeting here to break up.
Mm-hmm. What's a sort of boyfriend?
My lover. Oh, here she comes right now.
You weren't waiting for anybody when I came in here, were you?
No, just reading.
Sort of a sad occupation for a Friday night, isn't it? Reading here all by yourself.
Do you think so?
I mean, sure. What's a good-looking woman like you doing out alone on a Friday night?
Trying to stay away from lines like that.
No, listen. You weren't waiting for anybody when I came in, were you?
No, just reading.
Sort of a sad occupation for a Friday night, isn't it? Reading here all by yourself.
Do you think so?
Well, sure. What's a good-looking woman like you doing out alone on a Friday night? No offense, but...
Well, I'm out alone on a Friday night for the first time in a very long time.
Oh.
You see, I just ended a relationship
Oh.
of rather long-standing.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but since reading by yourself is such a sad occupation for a Friday night, why don't we do something else?
No,
Go somewhere else.
I'll pass.
I mean, I was headed to the movies in a little while anyway.
No, thanks.
Big chance to let Faulkner catch his breath. All those long sentences getting pretty tired.
Thanks anyway.
Okay,
I appreciate the invitation.
sure thing. You weren't waiting for anybody when I came in here, were you?
No, just reading.
Sort of sad occupation for a Friday night, isn't it? Reading here all by yourself.
I guess I was trying to think of it as existentially romantic, you know, great literature, cappuccino, rainy night.
That only works in Paris. We could always catch a late flight, hop on a Concorde, and find a cafe.
I'm a little short on plane fare tonight.
Darn it, so am I.
Listen, I was heading to the movies after I finished this section. Would you like to come along since you can't locate a waiter?
That's a really nice offer, but
Oh, girlfriend?
2 of them actually. One of them's pregnant, and don't get me started on Stephanie.
Girlfriend?
Not if you count that castrating witch I dumped last night.
Girlfriend?
Sort of.
What's a sort of girlfriend?
My mother. I actually just ended a relationship,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear it.
a rather long-standing. This is my first night out alone in a long time, and I feel a little bit at sea to tell you the truth.
So you didn't stop to talk because you're a Mooney or you have some weird political affiliation?
No, straight down the ticket Republican. Straight down the ticket Democrat. Can I tell you something about politics? I'd like to think of myself as a citizen of the universe. I'm unaffiliated.
That's a relief. So am I.
I vote my beliefs.
Exactly. Labels are not important.
Labels are so not important. Take me, for example. What does it matter if I had a 2-point at, 3-point at, 4-point at in college, or if I did come from Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Westchester County? I believe that a man is what he is. A person is what he is. A person is what they are.
Yeah, sure.
What does it matter if I admire Trotsky? What does it matter if I had a total body liposuction? What does it matter if I don't have a penis? What does it matter if I spent a whole year in the Peace Corps? I was acting on my convictions.
Yeah, exactly.
Just can't hang a sign on a person.
Absolutely. You know, I'll bet you're a Scorpio. Listen, I was headed to the movies after I finished this section. Would you like to come along?
That sounds like fun. What's playing?
A couple of the really early Woody Allen movies.
Oh,
You don't like Woody Allen,
sure, I like Woody Allen.
but you're not crazy about Woody Allen.
Those early ones kind of get on my nerves.
Uh-huh.
Listen,
I was thinking
headed...
about...
No,
Oh, no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I was headed to the movies in a little while.
So was I.
The Woody Allen Festival?
Yeah, just up the street.
Do you like the early ones?
I think anybody who doesn't ought to be run off the planet.
How many times have you seen Bananas?
8 times.
12. So, are you still interested?
Do you like Entenmann's crumb cakes?
I went out at 2 in the morning last night just to get one. Did you have an Etch-a-Sketch as a child?
Yes. And do you like Brussels sprouts?
No, I think they're disgusting.
They are disgusting.
And do you still believe in marriage in spite of the current sentiments against
Yes.
it? And children?
Yes.
3 of them?
2 girls and a boy.
Harvard, Vassar, and Kelly?
Do you still want to go to the movies?
Will you love me?
Yes.
And cherish me forever?
Yes.
Do you still want to go to the movies?
Yes. Sure thing.
Waiter!
So the next piece is A Midsummer's Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. So Lysander loves Hermia, and Demetrius loves Hermia, and Helena loves Demetrius. So it's just a big love rectangle mess, and hilarity ensues. A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Why do you think that I should woo in scorn? Scorn and discern never come in tears. Look, when I vow, I weep, and vow so born in their nativity all truth appears. How can these things in me seem scorn to you, bearing the badge of faith to prove them true?
You do advance your cunning more and more. When truth kills truth, oh devilish holy Fred, these vows are Hermia's. Will you give her o'er? Weigh oath with oath, and ye will nothing weigh. Your vows to Hermia, put in two scales, will even weigh, both as light as tails.
I had no judgment when to her I swore.
Nor none in my mind, now you give her o'er.
Demetrius loves her, and he loves not you.
O Helena, goddess, being perfect, divine, to what my love shall I compare thy nine? Crystals mighty, but how I can show, those kissing cherries someday grow. On the pure white, high congealed Taurus snow, finally the eastern wind turns to a crow. When thou holdest up thy hand, and let me kiss, princess, a pure white,
Oh spite, oh hell, I see you all are bent, to set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. Can you not hate me, as I know you do? We must join in souls to mock me too. If you are men, and men you are in show, you will not use such a gentle lady so, to vow and swear and super praise my parts, when I am sure you hate me with your hearts. You're both rivals and love Hermia, and both rivals to mock Helena. A trim exploit, a manly enterprise, would so conjure a tears up in a poor maid's eyes. With your derision, none the noble sort would so offend a virgin and extort. A poor soul's patience, all to make you sport.
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so, for you love Hermia, and this you know, I know, and with all goodwill and with all my heart, with Hermia's love, I yield you up my part, and yours with Helena to my bequeath, whom I love and will do till my death.
Never did mockers waste more idle breath.
Lysander, keep that Hermia, I will none. If ever I loved her, all the love is gone. My heart to her, but it scarce to join. And after Helena, it is home returned, there to remain.
Helena is not so.
This bears in the faith thou dost not know. Blessed the peril thou buyest dear. Look where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear.
Dark night that from the eye's function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension makes. Wherein it doth impair the seeing sense, it pays the hearing double recompense. Not by mine eye, Lysander found, mine ear, I thank it, brought me to thy sound. But why unkindly dost thou leave me so?
Why should he stay, whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love that would not let him by. Fair Helena, who more gilds the night than all your fiery oes and eyes of light? Why seekest thou me? Why can't this make thee know? The hate I bear, thee made me love thee so?
You speak not as you think, it cannot be.
Lo, she's one of this confederacy, and I perceive that you can join all three to fashion this false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with your foul derision? Is all the counsel we two have shared, the sister vows, the hours we have spent, when they chid the hasty-footed time for parting us? Oh, is it all forgot? All childhood friendships, all school day innocence, to rent our ancient love asunder, to joining these men in scorning your poor friend? 'Tis not friendly, 'tis not maidenly. Our sex as well as I may chide you for it, though alone I do feel the injury.
I am amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander in scorn to follow and praise my eyes and face? And your other love, Demetrius, who even but now did spur me with his foot, to call me goddess, nymph, divine and rare, precious, celestial? Wherefore speaks to this to her he hates? Wherefore doth Lysander deny your love so rich within his soul, to tender me for sooth affection? But by your setting on, and your consent, what I thought being so in grace as in you, so hung upon love, so fortunate, but miserable most to love unloved. This you should pity rather than despise.
I understand not what you mean by this.
I persever counterfeit sad looks, make mouths upon mouths when I turn my back, wink at each other, hold sweet jest up. This sport well carried shall be chronicled. If you have any pity, grace, or manners, you will not make me such an argument. But fare ye well, 'tis partly my own fault, but death or absence soon shall remedy.
Stay gentle, fair Helena! Hear my excuse, my love, my life, my soul, fair Helena!
Oh, excellent.
Sweet, do not scorn her so.
If she cannot entreat, I can compel.
Thou canst compel no more than she entreat. Thy threats have no more strength than thy weak prayers. Helen, I love thee. By my life I do. I swear by that which I will lose for thee, to prove it false that says I love thee not.
I say I love thee more than you can do.
If thou say so, withdraw it. Prove it too.
Quick, come.
Lysander, where to tends all this?
Away, you
No, no, you'll soon break loose. Think on as you would follow, but yet come not. You are a tame man.
Hang up, thou cat, thou bird, thou vile thing! Let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent!
Why are you grown so rude? What changes this, sweet love?
Thy love? Out, toiling tartar, out! Out, blood medicine, hated potion, hence!
Do you not jest?
Yes, Sue, and so do you.
Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee!
I would I did bond for represent a weak bond hold you. I will not trust your word.
What should I do? Harm her? Hurt her? Strike her dead? Though I hate her, I will not harm her so.
What can you do me greater harm than hate? Hate me? Wherefore? Am I not Hermia? Are you not Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile. Since night you loved me, yet since night you left me. Why then did you leave me? Oh, the gods forbid. In earnest shall I say.
I, by my life, and never did desire to see thee more. Therefore be out of hope, of question, of doubt. Be certain, 'tis nothing truer, 'tis no jest, but I do hate thee and love Helena.
Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom, you thief of love. What have you come by night and stolen my love's heart from him?
Fie, if fate, have you no modesty, no maiden shame, no touch of bashfulness? What, will you tear my impatient answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you.
Puppet? Why so? Aye, that way goes the game. I now hath perceived that she had made compare between our statures. She hath urged her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height forsooth she had prevailed with him. And if you grown so high in his esteem, because I am so dwarfish and so low, how low am I, thou painted maypole? Speak, how low am I? I am not yet so low, but that my nails can reach unto thine eyes.
I pray you! Do you mock me, gentlemen? Let her not hurt me. I was never cursed. I have no gift at all or shrewishness. I am a right maid in my cowardice. Let her not strike me. You perhaps may think that she's lower than myself, that I can match her. Lower? Hark again! Good, Hermia. Do not be so bitter with me. I evermore did love you, Hermia. Did ever keep your counsels, never wronged you. Save that love unto Demetrius. I told him of your stealth into the woods. He followed you. For love, I followed him. But ever since hence, he threatened me to strike me, spur me, nay, to kill me too. So, now, please just let me quiet go to Athens while I bear my folly back. And follow you no further. Please, let me go.
Why get you gone? Who is it that hinders you?
A foolish heart that I leave here behind.
What, with Lysander?
With Demetrius.
Fear not, fair Helena, for she will not harm thee so.
No, sir, she shall not, but you shall take her part.
Oh, when she is angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when she went to school. Though she be but little, she is fierce.
Little, again, nothing but low and little. Why do you suffer her to flout me thus? Let me come to her.
Begone, you dwarf! You minimus of him who not best name! You beam! You acorn!
Your true faith is in her Athens scornful services. Let her alone. Take not of Helena, take not her part. For if thou dost intend to show their love to her, then thou shalt abide it.
Now she holds me not. Now follow if thou dares to try the right of whose thine or mine is most in Helena.
Follow, nay, I'll go if you cheek my jowl.
Mistress, all this coil is long of you. Nay, go not back.
I will not trust you, nor will I stay longer in your cursed company. Your hands are quicker for a friend, but my legs are longer, though, to run away.
I am amazed and know not what to say.
You know this is a comedy, right? That's some really spooky music. Okay. Next we have a couple of scenes from The Importance of Being Earnest. This comedy of manners, written by Oscar Wilde in 1895, satirizes the aristocracy of the time and the reliance on style over substance, on a society where appearances and bloodlines are more important than truth or human decency. We start in the London home of Algernon Moncrief and the arrival of his old dear friend Jack Worthing, who, for complicated reasons that will hopefully reveal themselves, he believes to be named Ernest. Both Algernon and Jack have substantial family money and so don't actually do anything, but live solely for pleasure, which it turns out is considerably more complicated than you'd expect. The opening scene from The Importance of Being Earnest.
Mr. Ernest Worthing.
How are you, my dear Ernest? What brings you up to town?
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. What else should bring one anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, Algie.
I believe it is customary in good society to take some slight refreshment at 5 o'clock.
Why all these cups? Why cucumber sandwiches? Why such reckless extravagance in one so young? Who is coming to tea?
Oh, Melly, Aunt Augusta, and Gwendolyn.
How perfectly delightful.
Yes, that is all very well. But I'm afraid Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of your being here.
May I ask why?
My dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolyn is perfectly disgraceful. It is almost as bad as the way Gwendolyn flirts with you.
I'm in love with Gwendolyn. I've come to town expressly to propose to her.
Please don't touch the cucumber sandwiches. They are ordered specially for Aunt Augusta.
Well, you have been eating them all this time.
That is quite a different matter. She is my aunt. Have some bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is devoted to bread and butter.
And good bread and butter, too.
You behave as if you were married to her already. You are not married to her already, and I don't think you ever will be.
Why on earth would you say that?
Well, in the first place, girls never marry the men they flirt with. Girls don't think it right. And in the second place, I don't give my consent.
Your consent!
Gwendolyn is my first cousin, and before I allow you to go marry her, we will have to clear up the whole question of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean by Cecily? Algie, what do you mean by Cecily? I don't know anyone by the name of Cecily.
Bring me that cigarette case Mr. Worthing left the last time he dined here.
Yes, sir.
Do you mean to say that you've had my cigarette case this whole time? I was very nearly offering a large reward.
Well, I wish you would. I'm more than usually hard up.
Well, there is no use offering a large reward now that the thing has been found.
That is quite mean of you, Ernest, I must say. But it makes no matter. For now that I look at the inscription inside, it isn't yours after all.
Of course it's mine. You've seen me with it 100 times. You have no right whatsoever to read what is written inside. Just give it back to me.
But this is a gift from someone of the name of Cecily, and you said you did not know anyone of that name.
Well, if you really want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes, charming old lady she is too. Lives at Tunbridge Wells. Just give it back to me, Algie.
But why does she call herself Little Cecily if she is your aunt who lives at Tunbridge Wells?
My dear fellow, what is there in that? Some aunts are tall, some aunts are not tall. That is surely a matter that an aunt may be able to decide for herself. You seem to think that all aunts must be exactly like your aunt. That is absurd. For heaven's sake, just give it back to me.
Well, why does she call you her uncle? From little Cecily, with her fondest love to her dear Uncle Jack. I can't quite make out. I admit to an aunt being a small aunt, but why an aunt, no matter what her size may be, should call her own nephew her uncle? And besides, your name isn't Jack at all, it is Ernest.
My name isn't Ernest. It's Jack.
You have always told me it was Ernest. You would respond to the name of Ernest. You look as if your name was Ernest. You were the most earnest-looking person I've ever seen in my life.
Well, my name is Ernest in town and Jack in the country. And the cigarette case was given to me in the country.
But that still does not account for the fact that your small Aunt Cecily, who lives at Tunbridge Wells, calls you her dear Uncle Jack. Now go on. I've always suspected you of being a secret and confirmed Bunburyist, and I'm quite sure of it now.
Bunburyist? What on earth do you mean by Bunburyist?
I will explain to you the meaning of that incomparable expression as soon as you are kind enough to inform me why you are Ernest in town and Jack in the country.
Well, produce my cigarette case first.
Here it is. Now produce your explanation, and pray make it improbable.
My dear fellow, there is nothing improbable about my situation, about my explanation at all. In fact, it's perfectly ordinary. The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, who found me, gave me the name of Worthing because he happened to have a first-class ticket for Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing is a place in Sussex, a seaside resort.
Now go on. Why are you Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
Well, in order to get up to town, I've always pretended to have a younger brother of the name of Ernest, who lived in Albany and always got in the most dreadful scrapes. That, my friend, is the whole truth, pure and simple.
The truth is rarely pure and never simple. Modern life would be tedious if it were either. What you really are is a Bunburyist. I was quite right in saying you are Bunburyist. You are one of the most advanced Bunburyists I've ever seen. You have invented a very useful younger brother called Ernest, so that you may be able to come up to town as often as you like. I have invented a permanent and valuable invalid called Bunbury, so that I may be able to go down to the country as often as I choose. Now that I know you to be a confirmed Bunburyist, naturally I would like to talk to you about Bunburying. I would like to tell you the rules.
I'm not a Bunburyist at all. If Gwendolyn accepts me, I'm going to kill my brother. Indeed, I think I'm going to kill him anyway. Cecily is a little too much interested in him. It is rather a bore. And I would strongly advise you to do the same with Mr. your invalid friend with the absurd name.
Ah, that must be Aunt Augusta. Only relatives or creditors ever ring in that Bagnanian manner. Now, if I can get her out of the way for 10 minutes so that you may have the opportunity for proposing to Gwendolyn, may I dine with you tonight at Willis's?
I suppose so, if you would like to.
Lady Bracknell and Miss Fairfax.
Good afternoon, dear Algernon. I hope you are behaving very well.
I have been feeling very well, Aunt Augusta.
That's not quite the same thing. In fact, the two things rarely go together.
Dear me, you are smart.
I'm always smart. Am I not, Mr. Worthing?
Oh, you're quite perfect.
Oh, I hope I'm not that. It would leave no room for development, and I intend to develop in many directions.
I'm sorry if you're a little late, Algernon. I was obliged to call on dear Lady Harbury. I hadn't been to her since her poor husband's death. I'd never seen a woman so altered. She looks quite 20 years younger. Oh, Gwendolyn, won't you come sit here?
Thanks, Mamma. I'm quite comfortable where I am.
I've got quite the treat for you tonight, Algernon. I'm going to send you down with Mary Farquhar.
I'm afraid I might have to give up the opportunity of dining with you tonight after all, Aunt Augusta.
I would hope not, Algernon. It was with my table completely out.
It is a great bore, and need I hardly say a terrible disappointment, but the fact is that I have just received a telegram to say that my poor friend Bunbury is very ill again. He seems to think that I should be with him.
It's very strange. This Mr. Bunbury seems to suffer from curiously ill health.
Yes, Mr. Bunbury is a dreadful invalid.
Well, I think that it is high time that Mr. Bunbury make up his mind whether he should live or should die. This shilly-shallying with the question is absurd.
I shall talk to him if he is still conscious. Now, as you requested, I have put together the music for tonight. If you will kindly come with me into the next room, we shall go over the program.
Thank you, Algernon. It's very kind of you. Gwendolyn, you will accompany me.
Certainly, Mamma.
Charming day, Miss Fairfax.
Fred, don't talk to me about the weather. Whenever people talk to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain that they mean something else. And that makes me so nervous.
Well, I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I'm never wrong.
And I would like to be able to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence.
I would certainly advise you to do so. Mamma has a way of coming back suddenly into a room that I've often had to speak to her about.
Gwendolyn, ever since I've met you, I've admired you more than any person I've met since I met you.
Yes, I'm quite well aware of the fact, and I often wish that in public, at any rate, you'd been more demonstrative. For me, you've always had an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I knew I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals. The fact is constantly mentioned in the expensive monthly magazines, and has reached the provincial pulpits, I'm told. And my ideal has always been to love someone whose name is Ernest. Something about that name inspires absolute confidence. From the moment Algernon first mentioned to me that he had a friend called Ernest, I knew I was destined to love you.
You really love me.
Passionately.
Darling, you don't know how happy you've made me.
My own Ernest.
But you don't really mean to say that you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Ernest.
But your name is Ernest.
I know, but supposing it was something else, do you mean to say that you couldn't love me then?
Ah, that is clearly a metaphysical speculation. And like most metaphysical speculations, has very little reference at all to the actual facts of your life, as we know them.
Personally, darling, I don't really much care for the name of Ernest. I don't think the name suits me at all.
It suits you perfectly. It is a divine name. It has a music of its own. It produces vibrations.
Honestly, I think there are a lot much more nicer names. I think Jack, for instance, a charming name.
Jack. No, there is very little music in the name Jack, if any at all indeed. It does not thrill. It produces absolutely no vibrations. I have known several Jacks, and they all, without exception, were more than usually plain. Besides, Jack is a notorious domesticity for John, and I pity any woman who is married to a man called John. She would probably never be allowed to know the entrancing pleasure of a single moment's solitude. The only really safe maid is Ernest.
Gwendolyn, I must get christened at once. We must get married at once. There's no time to be lost.
Married, Mr. Wedding?
Well, Shirley, I love you, and you have led me to believe that you are not absolutely indifferent to me.
I adore you, but you haven't proposed to me yet. Nothing has been said about marriage at all. The subject has not even been touched on.
Well, may I propose to you now?
I think it would be an admirable opportunity, and to spare you any possible disappointment, Mr. Worthing, I think it only fair to tell you quite frankly beforehand that I am fully determined to accept you.
Gwendolyn,
Yes, Mr. Worthing, what have you got to say to me?
you know what I've got to say to you.
Yes, but you don't say it.
Gwendolyn, will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. How long you've been about it? I'm afraid you've had very little experience in how to propose.
My own one, I've never loved anyone in the world but you.
Yes, but men often propose for practice. I know my brother Gerald does. What wonderful eyes you have, Ernest. I hope you will always look at me just like that, especially when there are other people present.
Mr. Worthing, rise, sir, from this semi-recovered posture. It's most decorous.
Mamma, I must beg you to retire. This is no place for you. Besides, Mr. Worthing has not quite finished yet.
Finished what, may I ask?
I'm engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Pardon me, you're not engaged to anyone. When you do become engaged to someone, I or your father, should his health permit him, will inform you of the fact. An engagement should come on a young girl as a surprise, pleasant or unpleasant as the case may be. Now, I have a few questions to put to you, Mr. Worthing. While I am making these inquiries, you, Gwendolyn, will wait for me below the carriage.
Mamma!
The carriage, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, the carriage!
Yes, Mamma.
You can take a seat, Mr. Worthing.
Thank you, Lady Brocknell. I prefer standing.
I feel bound to tell you that you are not down on my list of eligible young men, although I have the same list that dear Dr. Bolton has. We work together in fact. However, I'm quite ready to enter your name should your answers be what really affectionate mother requires. Now, do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit I smoke.
I'm glad to hear it. A man should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. Now, how old are you?
29.
A very good age to be married at. I've always been of opinion that a man who desires to get married should either know everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Brocknell.
I'm pleased to hear it. I don't approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in England at any rate, education produces no effect whatsoever. If it did, it would prove a serious danger to the upper classes and probably lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square. Now, what is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In land or in investments?
Investments, chiefly.
That is satisfactory. What's between the duties expected one during one's lifetime and duties exacted from one after one's death, that has ceased to be either a profit or a pleasure. It gives one position, and prevents one from keeping it off. That's all that can be said about land. Now,
Well, I have a country house with some land, of course, attached to it, about 1,500 acres, I believe. But I don't depend on that for my real income. As far as I can make out, the poachers are the only people that really make anything of it.
country house, how many bedrooms? Well, that point can be cleared up afterwards. You have a townhouse, I hope. A girl with a simple and spoiled nature like Gwendolyn could hardly be expected to reside in the country.
Well, yes, I own a townhouse in Belgrave Square, but it is let by the year to Lady Bloxham. But of course I can get it back whenever I want at 6 months' notice.
Lady Bloxham, I don't know her.
Oh, she goes about very little. She was a lady considerably advanced in years.
Nowadays there's no guarantee of respectability of character. Now, what's number in Belgrave Square?
149.
The infashionable side, I thought there was something. However, that could be easily altered.
Do you mean the fashion or the side?
Both necessary, I presume. Now, what are your politics?
I'm afraid I really have none. I am a liberal unionist.
Oh, they count as Tories. They dine with us on come the evening. At any rate, now to minor matters. Are your parents living?
I'm afraid I've lost both my parents.
Oh. Seems like carelessness. Who was your father? He was evidently a man of some wealth. Was he born in what the radical papers call the purple of conquerors, or did he rise in the ranks of aristocracy?
I'm afraid I really don't know. I said I've lost both my parents, but it would be much nearer the truth to say that my parents seem to have lost me. I don't really know who I am by birth. I was found.
Found?
The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman from a charitable and kindly disposition, found me and gave me the name of Worthing.
Where did this charitable gentleman find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag.
Yes, Lady Bracknell, a somewhat large black leather handbag with handles to it. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
In what locality does Mr. James Thomas Cardew find this handbag?
At Victoria Station. It was given to him in mistake for his own.
The cloakroom at Victoria Station.
Yes, the Brighton line.
The lines material. Mr. Worthing, I confess I feel somewhat bewildered by what you just told me. To be born or to eat bread in a handbag, whether it has handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life that reminds one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution. And I'm sure you know what that unfortunate movement led to. Now, as for the particular locality in which the handbag was found, a cloakroom at a railway station might serve to conceal a social indiscretion that has indeed been used for that before, but it could hardly be provided as an assured basis for a recognized position in good society.
Well, may I ask what you would advise me to do? I need not say that I would do anything to ensure Gwendolyn's happiness.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Worthing, to acquire some relations as soon as possible, and to make a definite effort to produce one member of your family, parents, of either sex before the season is quite over.
Well, I don't see how I could possibly manage to do that. I could provide you with a handbag at any moment's notice. It is in my dressing room at home. That should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir? What has it to do with me? You could hardly imagine that I or Lord Bracknell would allow our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parcel? Good morning, Mr. Worthing.
Good morning.
So, to sum up, Jack has created a wicked brother, Ernest, as an excuse to leave his country house and go to the city and live the wild life while posing as his imaginary brother. In this guise, he has met and fallen in love with Algernon's cousin, Gwendolyn, who believes that he is Ernest. Algernon has learned about Jack's young ward, Cecily, with whom he is enamored before even meeting her. So Algernon scurries up to Jack's country house pretending to be Ernest. He meets Cecily, who is already besotted with tales of the wicked brother, and so is easy pickings for Algernon. Within 10 minutes of meeting, Cecily and Algernon, posing as Ernest, fall in love and become engaged. Meanwhile, Gwendolyn has gotten it into her head that she should go see her fiancé's country house and is shown into the garden where she meets Cecily. The famous Cecily Gwendolyn scene from The Importance of Being Earnest.
Miss Fox.
Hey, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew. That's a very sweet name. Something tells me we're going to be great friends. I like you already more than I can say. My first impressions of people are never wrong.
How nice of you to like me so much after you've known each other such a comparatively short time. Pray, sit down.
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
With pleasure.
And you will always call me Gwendolyn, won't you?
If you wish.
Then that is all quite settled, is it not?
I hope so.
Perhaps this is a favourable opportunity for my mentioning who I am. My father is Lord Bracknell. You've never heard of Papa, I suppose?
I don't think so.
Outside the family circle, Papa, I'm glad to say, is entirely unknown. I think that is quite as it should be. The home seems to be the proper sphere for the man,
And certainly once he begins to neglect his domestic duties, he becomes painfully effeminate. And I don't like that. It makes men so very attractive. Cecily, Mama's views on education are remarkably strict. Has brought me up to be extremely short-sighted. So would you mind my looking at you through my glasses?
Oh, not at all, Gwendolyn. I'm very fond of being looked at.
You're here on a short visit, I suppose.
Oh no, I live here.
Really? Your mother, no doubt, or some female relative of some kind, resides here also.
Oh no, I have no mother, nor in fact any relations.
Indeed.
My dear guardian has the arduous task of looking after me.
Your guardian?
Yes, I'm Mr. Worthing's ward.
Oh. It is strange she never mentioned to me that he had a ward. How secretive of him. He grows more interesting hourly. I cannot say, however, that the news inspires me with things of unmixed delight. I'm very fond of you, Cecily. I've liked you ever since I met you. But now that I know that you're Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help expressing that you were, well, just a little older than you seem to be, and are so very alluring in appearance. If, in fact, if I may speak with perfect candor,
Pray do. I think that whenever has anything unpleasant to say, one should always be quite candid.
Well, to speak with perfect candor, Cecily, I wish that you were fully 42, and more than usually plain for your age. Ernest has a strong, upright nature, but even men of the most noble moral character are susceptible to the physical charms of others.
I beg your pardon, Gwendolyn. Did you say Ernest?
Yes.
Oh, but it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who's my guardian. It is his brother, his elder brother.
Ernest never mentioned to me that he had a brother.
I'm sorry to say, they've not been in good terms for a very long time.
Ah, that accounts for it. And now I think of it, I've never had any man mention his brother. The subject seems distasteful to most men. Cecily, you've lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious. It would have been terrible if any cloud come over a friendship like ours. Of course, you're quite sure it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is your guardian?
Quite sure. In fact, I'm going to be his.
I beg your pardon?
Dear Gwendolyn, there's no reason why I should make it a secret of it to you. A little county newspaper was sure to chronicle the fact next week. Ernest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
My darling Cecily, there must be some slight error. For Mr. Worthing engaged to me. The announcement will appear on the Morning Post at Saturday at the latest.
There must be some misunderstanding, for Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
It is certainly very curious, for Ernest proposed to me yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you care to verify the incident, pray do so. I never travel anywhere without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read on the train.
It distresses me more than I can tell you, dear Gwendolyn, if it cause you any mental or physical anguish, but I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you, he has clearly changed his mind.
If my poor boy has been entrapped into any foolish promises, I shall consider it my duty to rescue him at once, and with a firm hand.
Whatever unfortunate entanglement my dear boy may have gone into, I will never reproach him after we are married.
Do you allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On an occasion of this kind, it becomes more than a moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrapped Ernest into an engagement? How dare you? This is no time for wearing the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
I am glad to say I've never seen a spade. It is obvious that our social spheres are widely different.
Shall I lay tea here as usual, miss?
Yes, as usual.
Quite a well-kept garden you have, Miss Cardew.
So glad you like it, Miss Fairfax.
I had no idea there were any flowers in the country.
Oh, flowers are as common here as people are in London. They offer you some tea.
Yes, detested garden, I acquire tea.
Sugar?
No, thank you. Sugar's not fashionable anymore.
Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rarely seen at the best houses nowadays.
Hand that to Miss Fairfax.
You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar, and now I ask most precisely for bread and butter. You have given me cake. I am known for the gentleness of my disposition and the extraordinary sweetness of my nature, but I warn you, Miss Cardew, you may go too far.
To save my poor innocent trusting boy from the machinations of any other girl, there are no lengths to which I would not go.
From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I felt that you were false and deceitful. I've never been deceived in such manners. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
It seems to me, Miss Fairfax, that I'm trespassing on your valuable time. No doubt you have many other calls of a similar character to make in the neighborhood.
Ernest, my own Ernest.
Gwendolyn, darling.
A moment. May I ask if you're engaged to that young lady?
To dear little Cecily. Of course not. What could have put an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I knew there must be some misconception. The gentleman whose arms present round your waist is Mr. John Weather.
I beg your pardon?
This is Uncle Jack.
Jack? Oh.
Here is Ernest.
My own love.
A moment. Ernest, are you engaged to be married to this young lady?
To what young lady? Good heavens, Gwendolyn?
Yes. Good heavens, Gwendolyn. I mean to Gwendolyn.
Of course not. What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I felt that there was some slight error. The gentleman who is now embracing you is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Algernon Moncrief? Oh. Are you called Algernon?
I cannot deny it.
Oh. Is your name really John?
I could deny it if I liked. I could deny anything if I liked. But my name certainly is John. It's been John for years.
A gross deception has been played on both of us.
My poor wounded Cecily.
My sweet wrong Gwendolyn.
You will call me sister, won't you?
I'd just like to be asked one question.
An admiral, my dear. Mr. Worthing, there's just one question we would like to be able to put to you. We are both engaged to your brother Ernest, so it is a matter of some importance to us to know where your brother Ernest is at present.
Gwendolyn, Cecily. It is very painful for me to be forced to speak the truth, and it is the first time in my life that I've ever been reduced to such a painful position. But I must say that I have no brother Ernest. I have no brother at all. In fact, I've never had a brother, and I have no intention of having one in the future.
No brother at all?
None.
No brother of any kind.
Never. Not even of any kind.
It appears that neither of us is engaged to be married to anyone.
This is not a very pleasant position for a young girl suddenly to find herself in, is it?
No. Let us venture into the house. They will hardly dare to go after us once we are there.
No. Men are so cowardly, aren't they?
The next scene is from a play called The Smell of the Kill by Michelle Lowe. The Smell of the Kill revolves around three best friends, Nikki, Deborah, and Molly, who have tolerated each other during once-a-month dinners for years. While their unseen spouses play golf in the dining room, the women exchange confidences, for the first time revealing that all three marriages are on the brink of disaster, and all three women are facing the challenges of their lives. Nikki's husband has been indicted for embezzlement, Molly's husband is stalking her, and Deborah's husband is leaving her for another woman. This scene picks up when the men mistakenly lock themselves in the basement meat locker. The women are faced with a life or death decision. The Smell of the Kill.
Vicky, could you please go back downstairs until Marty? I want to go home. Deborah, sit down. I want to leave. Deborah, Marty can't come up.
What do you mean he can't?
He can't.
Go back down there until Marty's come up this minute.
Believe me, if he could, he would.
Why can't he then?
Because he's locked in.
Oh my god.
This door's been a problem lately.
What about an axe?
There is no axe. There's a key.
Well, where is it?
It's in one of these drawers.
Nikki, when did you see it last?
Last week?
Is it there?
I don't see it.
Something terrible's gonna happen.
Nikki! No, it's in here.
Nikki!
It's gotta be in here.
Nikki!
What?
Are they all in the meat locker?
All three of them.
Oh, those poor animals. It must be terribly crowded. Who cares about the animals? They're dead. We should call the fire department.
No, I'll find it.
We shouldn't wait any longer.
Deborah, nothing's gonna happen to the boys.
Is it cold in the meat locker?
Yeah.
But not that cold, right?
It's cold.
But not that cold.
It's cold.
How many degrees?
10?
Oh my god!
Maybe 15?
They can all freeze down there.
We couldn't find the key.
They can all suffocate down there. They can have heart attacks, strokes.
Wait a minute, I found something.
They can all die down there.
Oops.
What was that?
Back door key.
Are you sure?
Positive.
We
can break down the door. It's 5 inches thick. We'll tip it over. The thing weighs over a ton. It took 3 men to bring it in.
I told Danny to wear a sweater tonight.
Did he?
No, I said, Danny, the nights are getting chillier.
Dickie, what does the key look like? How long does it take to make ice?
I don't know, I buy it by the bag.
Take a guess.
Let me think.
Dickie, why did you stop looking? What's the rush?
No rush.
Jay loves the winter.
Danny loves the fall.
If only he knew how to dress for it.
Sit down, Deborah.
Have a drink, Deborah.
Danny got me a watch with an alarm. He has it set for every 2 hours.
What for?
So I can call him.
Why?
Because he loves me.
What do you say?
I leave little messages.
Pick up milk?
I love you.
Drop dead?
Yeah, stuff like that.
I think he'd appreciate a call right now.
You think so?
Definitely.
Hi, I'd like to leave a message for Daniel Gillaroni. Will you tell him that his wife is thinking about him right now? Thank you.
Well done.
At night, he checks to make sure the battery's still running.
Must be aggravating.
Oh, you don't know.
Every 2 hours?
No matter where I am.
The John?
Oh, sure.
Jesus.
This is tricky.
Yes.
How cold did you say it was in the meat locker?
15 degrees?
Bananas freeze at 20.
Colder than that.
Nikki, do you believe in heaven, where there are angels with wings sitting on clouds, listening to Enya? If Danny goes to heaven, he could see our baby. He could explain about the waiting. Oh, Molly, that wasn't my fault.
Of course not.
He didn't even let me give her a name.
She was too little, Molly.
I could have done something.
You couldn't have.
I should have given her a name.
This is your fault.
What did I do?
Isn't there an emergency button down there or something?
What for? The dead ducks? So they can buzz us in case they want to come up and make a phone call?
We should call the police.
Gee, I didn't think that.
I'm calling the police. Where's the phone? Where's the phone?
Grab her.
Ow!
Sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm hurting you.
Stop it!
Deborah, you smell nice.
Get off of me!
But your brace coming in.
Let me see.
You're crazy!
No, she's right.
Ow!
Promise you'll sit still and Molly will let you go.
Let me go!
She's not gonna stay. Let's tie her up.
No! Come on, Deborah.
Ow, my arm is twisting it.
I'm sorry.
We have to get them out of there. Listen to them.
Please work.
Dom Karen?
Calvin Klein.
Marty!
She's moving, she's moving. Grab the chair.
Don't let her go.
Hold her. I've got her.
Now listen, Deborah. This is the best thing. Where'd you learn to do that?
We had boats when I was a kid.
Sailboats?
Yachts.
I always wanted a boat.
Boats are fun.
Jay didn't want one. He wanted a meat locker.
His mistake.
Bet he's thinking that right now.
We love you, Deborah.
We'd love you even more if you kept Marty in the meat locker. Now let's talk calmly, okay?
Look, no matter how I feel about Marty, I still couldn't.
Do you still like Marty, Deborah?
Do I still like him?
Is he a good person?
There are plenty of good things about him.
Okay, name one.
Alright,
Go on.
I'm thinking.
I've got it. He weeds the garden in the springtime.
Does he?
I passed
Okay.
it in the car last year.
He weeds.
I never knew that.
Name something redeeming about your husband, other than that he's a weeder.
He holds the door open for me when we go to the restaurant.
He's a gentleman.
Always.
Always?
Always a gentleman.
He stroked my leg during dinner.
Oh boy.
I don't believe you.
I swear.
You're just trying to upset me.
He did, Deborah. He stroked her.
Maybe he thought it was my leg.
You aren't anywhere near him.
You just loved telling me that, didn't you?
No, Deborah. She loved telling me that. She really didn't want to tell you.
You know what's going on down there right now, and you have no qualms about walking away?
If the situation was reversed, if we were down there right now, what would Marty do?
Would he let me freeze down there? Probably. But if we do the same thing, what does that prove? We're just as bad as they are.
I have no problem with that.
Want to call 911?
Nikki!
You want the weeder out? Call.
We can do this, Deborah.
I'm trying.
Well, try harder. Do it for me.
You'll go off with what's his name, and you'll go back to work.
So,
So what will I do?
what are you doing now?
I'm gonna get left behind.
How can you get left behind? We're about to kill our husbands? I'm either going to be your best friend for the rest of your life, or I'm going to have to kill you too. Forget it, Molly. She's not going to do it. I'm calling the police.
No, wait. People make mistakes, but do you murder them? Marty's awful, but should I kill him? He's leaving me for another woman. Does he deserve to die for that? He's kicking me out of my house. I spent 10 years on that kitchen. My son hates me because of him. If
to die down there? Will I go to hell? Do I really care? I don't know.
Let me tell you what I see. I see a woman standing in her beautiful house,
Baking pies in her gorgeous oven.
with her only son beside her,
Home from military school.
home for good.
And never going back.
She seems so happy.
Doesn't she?
The only mind she has to read is her own. The only person she has to take care of is herself.
And her son.
But wait, someone's at the door.
Who could that be?
It's the mail carrier.
What could he be bringing them?
It's a big fat check.
From a life insurance policy.
The woman and her son join hands and dance around the living room.
I've never seen such joy.
On any two faces.
That woman and her son?
They seem so familiar.
Don't they?
Yeah, I could almost make them out.
Yes, they're coming into focus.
That woman.
That woman.
That woman.
It's me.
Bravo, Deborah.
You know, we're a team now. I've always wanted to be a part of the team. I tried out for the volleyball team, but I didn't make it. I tried out for the debate team, but I didn't make that either. I tried out for cheerleading in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th
You
grade.
made the team, Molly.
I know, I'm so excited.
Listen,
What?
they've stopped banging.
They probably turned into ice cream by now.
Vanilla, chocolate, and Rocky Road.
Crouton?
No thanks.
Deborah?
Deborah?
Is she alright?
Deborah!
Deborah!
They couldn't thaw, could they?
Gee, I don't know.
It'd be a shame if they thawed.
Well, figure it takes 2 days to thaw a 22-pound turkey.
Yeah, but the turkey's already dead.
Right.
What if they don't fully freeze? What if they just slow down?
What do you mean?
What if they congeal?
Like Jell-O.
What if they freeze while clutching each other so tightly that we can't separate them?
What if they freeze sticking to the deer?
He's got rabbits down there, too.
What if we can't scrape the deer off of them?
What if they freeze with deer and rabbits at once?
Well, if they freeze as a solid mass, I have no problem burying them in the same pit.
Grave.
Great.
We can have them cremated.
There you go.
You know, I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time with you ladies. Before, when we'd get together, we'd talk about the same things. Now, we'll have so much more to talk about.
We're not going to skip next month, are we?
But we can.
We can meet at my house.
Or mine.
Let's not meet here.
No.
You want to sell a house?
Me?
I can't live here.
You need someone better than me.
I want cash.
I can get you cash.
No mortgage.
I can get you cash, no mortgage, and a bit more.
Deal.
I'll send over the contract in a minute.
We're not going to move too far away, are you, Nikki?
We're all going to go downtown to buy me a loft. Or maybe an apartment on the 68th floor or something. Then we can get dressed up in cocktail dresses and go downtown and ride the Ferris wheel at Lady Pier.
Do you remember what happened to Sarah's mother after Sarah's father died? No. She used to work at that store in Plaza del Lago.
No makeup, gray hair, baggy dresses. She was a drudge. Then her husband dropped dead.
Have you seen her recently?
She's gorgeous.
She's dating.
She's taking dancing lessons.
She's taking Spanish lessons.
She's been to Europe.
I could go to Italy.
I've always wanted to buy my own car.
Jay never wanted to go ballroom dancing.
I could take horseback riding lessons.
I could go to France.
French lessons.
I could learn to paint.
Or sing.
Or sail.
The final scene this evening is my pre-professional acting class. Written in the 1970s, Lady House Blues is set in St. Louis in 1919. World War I has just ended, and the nation is waiting for their men to return from Europe. The Madden family is a working-class family not long removed from the country. Liz, long widowed, has raised her children by herself. Her only son, Bud, is a soldier returning from the war. Of her 4 daughters, the 2 youngest, Eiley and Terry, still live at home and wait tables to support the household. Dot is married and lives in New York, but is expecting her first child and is visiting with her mother while they await Bud's return. The eldest, Helen, is married to Heinz Otto, a local man of German extraction. They have had to move away to Arkansas to escape the virulent anti-German sentiment that exploded in American cities when the country went to war. She has left her husband and child in Arkansas because she has tuberculosis and is contagious. She's come back home to be nursed back to health by her mother, Lady House Blues.
What on earth are you doing?
You forget how Mama makes watermelon pickles?
In this heat?
When else? Sit down and eat something. I'll fix you some eggs.
Well,
You have to eat.
not in this heat.
It's not just yourself you have to think of.
Later.
It'll be hotter later.
She's crazy. Mom is crazy.
First day off in 6 months. Try to sleep in this house.
She's absolutely crazy.
Work 6 days a week, get half day off, nobody cares.
Mom's got a fire going on down there. In this weather, boiling sheets?
She never washes on a Saturday.
Well, she's washing on a Saturday today.
What's eating you?
And put a robe over that mattress.
What? Who was gonna see? We're the only second-story flat in the neighborhood. Everywhere I look, one-story houses. And even if all them houses consume to our porch, and all of those houses have spyglass that can look into our window, into our porch, it wouldn't matter if I was mother naked. On the other end of every spyglass would be another one. Lady houses, that's what the mailmen call them. Full of widows, or women wait for their men to come home from France. There isn't a man left in any direction 3 blocks.
There is so too. Mr. Krausmeyer.
Forgot about him, 97 years old. He was too old even for the Civil War.
Well, we'll see how you act when Bud gets home.
When Bud gets home, I may dress differently, but I'll act exactly the same.
You mean the army took all the men in this neighborhood?
Army, Navy, whatever.
Isn't that unusual?
Working class.
See, she is a socialist.
And German families settled into these old houses and never moved back. And men who weren't drafted enlisted to prove how American they are. Men 35, 40 years old.
You're joking.
Joking. A little puppy was stoned to death on our doorstep.
No.
Because it was German.
Who would do such a thing like that?
Our respectable neighbors, that's who. Because Hans Isla wasn't in uniform. That's why we sold there and moved to Arkansas.
And all the men are gone. That's why it seems so still. In the evenings, you take a walk, and all the blinds are drawn in all the windows. There's a hush over everything.
What do you suppose that is?
Maybe it's the mailman.
Saturday, it's not even 8 yet.
Terry!
Yes, Ma?
Can't somebody get that front door? For Christ's sake, some Saturday morning trying to get sleep around this house. Who is it?
Western Union.
Who?
Western Union. Telegram.
A telegram?
I'm coming. You want me to break my neck down these stairs? Will somebody get that front door?
I was getting it right now.
About time. We finished down here in the lampshade. Never forsake
Telegram.
Oh my God.
Someone's having a bug.
Don't be silly, boys.
People die just the same.
What do you mean die? You can only be just hurt or something.
They don't send telegrams for being hurt.
You don't even know if it's Bud.
Who else could it be for?
A telegram.
Terry!
Yes, Ma?
Who was it at the door? Never mind, I'm coming upstairs now. Build me a tower, build it so high. See into heaven, my true love lives now. See into heaven, my true love passed by. So build me a tower, way up to the sky. Them stairs, hoo-wee. It's more likely to go rain all over my wash before it's dry anyway. It's clambering up for a storm out there to the east. What you all doing, playing statues? What is it? Who was it at the door?
Western Union.
Well, so when are you gonna open it and read it to me?
Sure, Mom.
I can't abide reading them things.
It's from the Navy.
Read it.
I deeply regret to inform you on behalf of the United States Navy on the death of your son, Francis Butler Madden, on the 21st of August, 1919. Your son died while serving his country. Your son's personal effects could be found with the local Navy chaplain. They send to you their sincere sympathy. Of course, they will pay for the funeral expense.
Stop right there.
We ain't gonna get around to burying him till we find out how he come to die. Where does it say that their Navy chaplain is?
It doesn't, but there is a telephone. John T. Hardison, Lieutenant Commander.
Then you go call him, find out where it is we're supposed to go for Bud's things, whilst I wash up and get ready. And you, get my black crepe ready. Needs brushing and some pressing most likely. What are you dolphin for, youngin?
The telephone. It's from New York. I've never called long distance before.
I have. Then you go with her, show her how to do it. Now get cracking, both of you. And then come back here, and I want one of you to go with me to that there Navy chaplain.
I'll go.
Don't need more than one. You went yesterday, Doc. No need to do it again. Your condition. Better be you, I reckon.
I'll come too.
Don't need more than one. You want to be useful? Fix us up a bite to eat before we go. And make a fresh pot of coffee. No, you do that whilst I fills me a pitcher of water to wash up with. All right, now let's get cracking.
But even for Bud's own things, well, when Hans Otto got his medal, they sent us this letter. Asked us to come in and check some barracks. Well, we went. And we got sent to 4 different offices before we got sent to the one with the medal was at. And that was only the beginning. They kept sending us to different offices, each one higher than the other, and talk. Lord, I thought I'd die before they got through talking. First one of them remembered what Hans Otto had done to got the medal. Then,
what did he do to get it?
Well, for one thing, he saved the lives of the general, and that caused a lot of talk right there. Then they remember what he did on the citation. The commanding officer made a speech. They pinned the medal on him, gave him a box, and a citation. There was another speech. Now, that was for something they wanted to give away.
Like Bud's insurance.
If he has any.
He has some, all right.
Don't tell me, not that Bud had to pay for it.
Well, he did. I heard Mama say so.
I never did.
You were at Arkansas. The Navy sent her the papers, and Mom has never mentioned it, but that one time when she did, it was like whenever she talked about it, something had happened to. He's gone, isn't he?
How much was it for?
How much what for?
Bud's insurance, how much was it for?
Mom has never mentioned, I don't know.
$1,000 a minimum.
Minimum?
War risk insurance, everybody knows that. If Bud was going to have any, he wouldn't want to be at the bottom of the heap. Not that one.
I think it was more like 3,000 or 4,000.
Thought you didn't know.
I don't. But Mama, she talked, it was like she was bragging on him. But I think it was for that much, I'm sure of it.
$4,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. $4,000 more than one of the muckamucks in Washington makes a year. And you and Mama could go someplace with that money, like Arizona or someplace like that.
Maybe.
And then me and Johnny could visit you regularly then.
So, you and your Greek are moving out to California.
Yeah.
I knew you were.
Yeah.
What's he like? Your Greek.
Gentle.
Hans Otto was too. He won't last that way long though.
Yes, he will.
No, he won't.
Yes, he will.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Doc, we're home! What kept you? In a minute.
Stairs, day, corset, day, everything.
What kept you?
Some of you get me out of this straitjacket and I'll tell you. Everybody, and everything. First it was the dang Navy, and I'll get to them in a minute. Then, after all their falderall and plain blackguard filthy, Why, them dang Bolsheviks tied up all the streetcars.
They're not Bolsheviks, they're plain working men just
We
trying.
had to walk all the way from Jefferson Barracks.
Jefferson Barracks, we went downtown.
Well, we got sent from there out to Jefferson Barracks. And then the ding-dong streetcar men went out on strike.
They're striking for a living wage.
Well, you just tell me, Miss Bolsheviki, you give these streetcar men what they're asking for, who do you think's going to pay for it?
The car line, of course.
Oh, they'll give out of the pay packets, maybe, but it'll be you and me pays for it. The rich got things worked out, so no matter what anything costs, it don't never come out of their pockets.
Now that you got that all settled, are you ever going to tell us what happened to Bud?
Ain't nothing to tell. He's dead, that's all.
In a way, she's right. He's dead. That's all.
Well, what about his body? When's that coming?
Ain't nobody.
They threw him overboard? I seen that at the movies. Fishes eating on you.
Will you keep quiet, woman? They've never done no such a thing. They cremated him.
What?
Without asking permission?
Had to, they said.
Why?
Said there was an outbreak of cholera in Hamburg. So they had to burn him.
They're saving the ashes. The Navy said they pay for funeral expenses. Mention that too.
Expenses?
Yeah.
For ashes?
Well, you know.
No, I don't know.
Well, for interment.
For Christ's sake, a child can dig a hole big enough to bury ashes. But you don't bury them, do you? No, you scatter them. Or you keep them in the earth. Sweet Jesus, are they even going to provide an earth? Are you going to put a hole in the envelope? A cardboard box? Goddamn their souls. Goddamn their souls to hell.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
There, Will. It's all right. It's all right.
What about Bud's things?
Didn't have much besides his uniforms.
They burned those too?
Reckon so.
And there's nothing left of my little brother on the face of this earth but ashes.
Well, here's his last letter.
Letter? They didn't burn that too? Why?
To know.
Maybe they fumigated it. Well, are you ever going to let us see it?
Of course I am. I just wanted to hand me that house right yonder. Can't attend Bud's letter proper and my other things.
Honest to God, Mama, we can all die of old age while you're rummaging about in that old bag.
Now just hold on there a minute. Just better read it to you. Some of you might not like everything in this letter.
Read it.
All right then. Must have read this just before he took sick.
Read it.
Dear Mom, take my pen in hand to write to you. Well, the ship's boilers is finally fixed. So we're about to shove off for the good old USA any day now. I might even get home before this letter does. Ha ha. It's hard to explain to you what I'm thinking, what I have on my mind right now, but I will tell you this. Some people might like Harry, but I don't think it holds a candle to good old St. Louis. I've tried to picture in my mind with the new place he moved to his life, but I'll just have to wait and see it, I guess. Ha ha. I hope Helen is better by now. Mom, when I see that Heinisch married, I'm going to punch him in the nose for not taking better care of her. I mustn't mind that about Hans Otto. It's just Bud's way of speaking. Which reminds me, I got a letter from some guy named Christ, I can't even spell it. But he says he's going to marry Allie and wants me to be the first to know because I'm the man of the family. Now that is very nice of him and I appreciate it. But Jesus Christ, Helen marries a crowd, you married a spick, and now Allie's about to marry a goddamn Greek? I hate to say this, Mom, but can't any of you women marry a white man for Jesus' sake? Still, it was polite of Allie's financier, that's French for the guy you're going to marry, to write me a letter like that, so I guess he's all right for a greaser. Then anyway, he says they're going to live out in California. So that's all until I see you, which, the Lord willing, will be soon. Your loving son, Francis Butler Madden.
Crowd, honey, the nerve of him.
Now, I don't want to hear a word against that boy. These is the last words he'll ever speak to us. And if you girls will just listen, he's telling you that he loved you the onlyest way he knowed how. Now that's the fact of this letter. That boy had love in him. Just like his daddy. And this here letter. Goddamn the Navy. Goddamn the President. Goddamn the hand that burnt my boy! I've tried. Lord God, I've tried to do what you've lain on me and bear the grief between. Where's the mercy in you? I ain't Job!
Ask him what's the point while you're at it. Tell him even I can run things better than he does.
What child, that'd be like criticizing the Lord.
Well, good gravy, Mama. What do you think we were just doing?
I was grieving. Grieving for my boy. Asking mercy from the grief. But we got no right criticizing what we don't understand.
Ah, shit!
Don't you never say that.
I will. And I'll say it again. Ah, shit! There's no point to this life. You're brought into it without asking to it, and it's taken from you without asking to it. And in between is just pain and pointless suffering. If I really thought that there was a God, I'd ask him what the hell he thinks he's doing.
He'd tell you you got a peanut-sized brain, shrunk up and shriveled from trying to understand something you can't even picture.
What?
You can't even picture the eternal. So I may do some hollering because I'm mortal and I hurt just like anybody else, but I don't never criticize when I don't have a prayer or understanding. Now, if you girls will excuse me, I'll just go to my room and set a spell. If I'm not out here when you girls get hungry, go ahead and eat. Don't wait on me.
Look at that light. Pretty.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
That was nice.
Yes. Does anybody want to play?
Oh, wait, let's just stay this way a little while longer. I don't suppose we'll be together like this for a long time.
Probably not.
Probably never.
Better go get that lamp.
You know it'd be nice? Some electric light.
Not very likely.
Just the flip of a switch and presto, light.
Not in Mama's house.
It's a common thing, ain't that right, Doc?
In New York, we wouldn't be without it.
Well, Mama is not New York.
What was that you're saying, Doc?
Doctor said in New York they wouldn't be without electric light. And I just said Mama is not New York.
Darn tootin'. Wouldn't have that filthy stuff in the house if they give it to me.
They practically are giving it to you. Why, I just saw an ad today.
Never mind what you saw.
Oh, Mama, if you really feel that way, what are you going to do when we get a telephone?
A telephone?
Yes, they expect half the houses in the country to have it in no time.
No siree, ma'am. Gas in the house is bad enough.
But think of the convenience.
Shoot! Somebody I don't want to talk to pestering me any old time way. You got a notion? I don't call that convenience.
You have to look at it the other way around.
Don't have to look at it no way. I don't want to. I ain't one of having one of them their telephones, nor no electricity neither. What's going into you? We can't afford that kind of nonsense.
I just thought you might feel different once we get the insurance money.
What insurance money?
The insurance money.
Both insurance. He did have insurance, didn't he? Alice said $3,000 to $4,000.
Took out a $4,000 policy, yes.
Well then.
Don't mean the money will be coming to us.
Well, the president finally got around to using his war emergency money, so even if Congress didn't keep its end of the bargain.
Didn't mean that. Man, this policy means the money won't be coming to us.
And why not, Mama?
You was there. You saw the way that chaplain pussyfooted all around the idea of insurance without actually mentioning it.
No, it didn't.
Well, did you hear him say anything about it?
No.
And he talked about dang near everything else, didn't it?
He was long-winded, yes.
And we was there to see him about bugs, remains, and effects, and telegram said.
Yes.
Well, if they'd wanted us to have the insurance, they would have brought it up.
Well, it's not a question of they want it.
The insurance is one of his effects, ain't it?
Well, in a matter of speaking, you have to apply for it.
Why?
Because you do.
Why?
Because of the rule.
Why?
Because that's how the government works. Well, the government doesn't give you anything. You have to ask for it.
I can't do that.
Mama, the money is yours.
Then let him send it to me.
They will if you just fill out the form telling them where you want it sent.
They know where I am.
Yes, but they don't know you want it sent here, though, till you tell them.
You can't come over me that way, daughter. They know where to send a telegram, and it's the same place they're going to send the ashes. So they can send what my boy paid for with his money and his life to the same place, and they can do that without being asked.
Mama, the government has rules. And Lord, the government has got rules.
Well, I got rules too.
Listen. It doesn't work that way.
Quiet, all of you. Now you might as well get it through your heads. I ain't asking the Navy for no money.
That's $4,000. You're not letting that go.
Don't care if it was $4 million.
Well, then you can't expect me and Terry to work our tails off to support this house.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, really? So you're just to stay trapped here while all she has to do is fill out a measly little old form? The whole of this year you didn't clear but 600.
Daughter, you don't have to make a big storm to cover your leaving. You're ready to go. Go. My blessing. Sorry. No need to be. Now that it's out in the open, how soon you reckon to be going?
I don't know. A couple months.
What about you?
Me? I don't know. Not for a long while, though.
Well then. Better sit down, all of you. Children, I don't want you to think I'm nothing but a stubborn old woman.
Mama,
Hush up now.
I just know you're not old.
Didn't mean that. It's just a matter of speaking. Now hush up, whilst I tell you. Ain't fair to ask nothing of you if you don't know what's in my heart. Now here's the Navy, the war. My boy takes out a policy with them, and they undertake to pay if he gets killed or hurt. Now to start off, that's blood money. Howsoever, my boy wants me to have it, and for that reason, I'm willing to take it from his hand. Now, if the Navy sends it to me direct, that is in a manner of speaking from his hand. But if I have to ask it for it, that money, dear pay for it is, ain't no longer a gift for my boy. The very thought of it just grips my innards so they're ready to bleed. If I do what you're asking, I'm saying the government has the right to pay me $4,000 for the life of my only son and just call it quits. I can't do that. I just can't do that.
Say, I got only about 6 more days here, and what I'd like us to do, I'd like us to take a walk together.
You girls go.
Oh, Mama, feel the breeze. It's nice and cool.
It'll be better just you girls.
But Mama, we haven't done it once, all of us together.
I know, but you girls just leave me here too. I got some thinking to do.
I can't go either.
What do you mean you can't go? Of course you can go.
I just don't want to leave you alone.
Why, bless you, girl, I'd like to be alone. Be grateful for the quiet.
I'll just stay in my room then.
You ain't been out of this house in 3 months.
I haven't been exactly well, if you don't remember.
You ain't too weak to take a little stroll down the street with your sisters.
No.
Now you're just being plain ornery, woman. You go with your sisters.
And have the eyes of every fat bitch show me my death, not on your life. Guten Abend, Frau Klug. Tell me, Gnadlige Frau, what's your secret to stay so thin? Then the fat sow laughs and slaps the Lord on her fat ass. That's the last time I went out for a little stroll, and I vow I'd never let that happen again.
And it won't. We'll be together. The Madden sisters, 4 abreast, and we'll be a match for anybody in the whole wide world.
That's the talk.
Yes, the Madden sisters, kings of Carrie Patch. Say, why don't I buy us all ice cream? Cat's Miller's.
Cat's Miller's has the best ice cream in the entire world.
To hell with our heads. Cat's Miller's, here we come. Oh, the moonlight's bare at night along the Wabash. Through the fields runs the sands of New Marquette. Through the sycamore, the candlelights are gleaming. On the banks of the Wabash far away.
On the banks of the Wabash far away. So far away. Can't eat with my innards churning like they was making butter. Don't want nothing in Helen's room. Fitz, you had the right idea. Packing in early and let the rest of us do the sweating. Didn't mean that, love. It's just got the blues so bad. Everybody nagging at me for answers. Mama this and mama that. I ain't got no mama I can turn to. Or no man, mother. I got nobody. Except in this old door frame. I'll tell you what, Lord. I don't want you to think I'm complaining or criticizing, because like I told Dot, I know my mind ain't able to picture no further than, well, even when Moses, even when he went on the mountaintop, he couldn't see further than the edge of the earth. I know that. But now look at here. I know you move in mysterious ways. You're wonders to perform. I know that. But, Lord, I gotta say this. I just hurt so bad right now. I can't help feeling. If you was a woman, you'd have done it different. Amen.
because you've meant so much to us for the past, so many years, not even just pre-professional. I've had you since I was in 6th grade. And honestly, I remember the first time I even like knew you were a person. You called me a spaz. It's like basically just describes our relationship throughout the past.
Last week too.
You did. Hasn't really changed, and I know I can tell you everything, no matter what. I've always, yeah. So I've always relied on you for my troubles. Like you can give me advice, and I know you're always there for your dry humor and put me in my place. And you just taught me so much throughout the past years, and thank you so much.
Obviously, we took acting with you, so you taught us a lot about acting and a lot about ourselves. We spent a lot of our classes just talking about our problems and stuff, and you're such a great listener and a teacher, so we want to thank you for so much time. Thank you so much. You taught me like half my vocabulary. Yeah, you always have these like $5 million words, and they always ask you what they mean. And you've taught me not only about acting, but also about myself. And you've taught me how to come out of my shell a little bit. I mean, 3 years ago when you wanted me to be a black woman, I was a little worried. But I did it. Yeah, so it worked out. I would do anything to be able to do this all over again. I'm so sad.